Different location this morning. Hubby's doing some spring cleaning in another room, so this was the quietest room I could find. Today's word vitamin is on willingness, and when people come to work with me on their emotional fitness, they're usually looking for change. They want to make a change in their own behaviour, whether it's in their relationship with themselves or with other people. Now, one of the first things we've got to look at with whenever we ask the question, how, and I love the word how used as an acronym. How do I do this? How do I do that? How could stand for H-O-W, honestly, open-mindedly, and the W stands for willingly. Because unless we're willing for the inconvenience of change and to let go of the familiar and let go of control, it doesn't matter what we want. It can't come to be if we're not willing to make room for it. So for example, I might have a client saying, she wants her husband to show more affection. Well, she's got to be willing that when he comes up to her, to open her arms and embrace him and welcome him and not punish him and close off for resentment she might have in the past. So how do we be willing to be willing? And I remember when I first got clean and sober, nearly 20 years ago, October the 12th, 1995, I remember beautiful Barb would actually say to me, and I do pray and meditate every day, and I'm not here peddling religion. I mean, I often say God spells, G-O-D spells great outdoors, Mother Nature and Father Time. And so every morning I'm on my knees and I meditate and I pray to the beautiful universal forces of nature and time. And I remember Barb used to say to me, love, just pray for the willingness. Pray for the willingness for the change. And in that, one thing I also find with people when they're working on their emotional fitness, they want change, and it's a big change. Usually it's a big change. And the capacity to easily hit overwhelm when you look at a big change, it can be so overwhelming, the anticipation of the change and all of the tweaking you'll have to do, that people get so overwhelmed and they don't even start. And this is where the recovery mantra of one day at a time, baby steps, is so helpful. Because, when people say to me, so Cynthia, you haven't had a drink for 20 years, you're never going to drink again, you're 53 years of age. I say, well, the whole thought of 20 years is a long time, and if I live another 20 years, it's a long time. So I just break it down into one day at a time. I don't drink and drug just for today. I don't smoke cigarettes just for today. I don't neglect my emotions just for today. And people sometimes say to me, how come you do a word vitamin every day? Don't you ever have a holiday? Don't you ever have a break? Well, for the last 20 years, I've been able to rebuild the quality of my life because I've been willing to, one day at a time, take 5 minutes out of my day to study a word, and I have a block of an hour in the morning where I do my prayer and meditation. And as long as I'm willing to do the work, the results will show up. So if you have a think about whatever it is that the change in your life you're seeking, are you willing one day at a time to chip away at it and work towards it? If you've seen that beautiful movie, The Shawshank Redemption, in it, there's a beautiful metaphor. He wants to escape from a huge jail, and what he does every day is just chip away with a little tiny rock hammer at a huge concrete wall, just one day at a time. He's just willing to do the work it takes one day at a time to get to the other side. And that's the hardest thing about change. It's the willingness to show up every day and work towards the dream and delay the gratification, because our desire for the bigger picture is more powerful than the inconvenience in having to change our daily habits. Easier said than done, but we don't have to do it all at once. We can do it just one day at a time. So may the willingness for your changes, just one day at a time, baby steps, become clearer today. And if you get a chance to read the word vitamin, there might be something in there that helps you along. Lots of love. I'll be back tomorrow. Bye.